Happy Tuesday. I think today's Tuesday. Yeah, I get my days mixed up, so I'm not really working. But anyway, I have some wonderful news. I decided to go live and let you guys know your girl is finally going back to work. Yay! Oh my God, they took forever. They had me nervous for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, I really thought they was gonna be like, F you. You're not getting this job. Because what took forever was the clearance process. Remember when I told y'all I was originally selected and offered this contract gig? Well, my clearance finally got through. They granted me a clearance, y'all, by the grace of God. Hallelujah. So I think everything is working well. I had one of the onboarding coordinators that I spoke with in the beginning. He called me and left me a voicemail, and he also emailed me and said, when would you like to have your start date? So they gave me the option to start. I said, oh, snap. Y'all ain't telling me when I can start? I said, as soon as possible, when I can start collecting a check. Because I'm tired of freaking door dashing around the city. So he told me that my start date will be Monday for new hire orientation. Yay! However, they're kind of weird. They told me that my new hire orientation can be completed remotely. I have to log in at 9 a.m. and upload the necessary documents like my payroll information for direct deposit, blase, and so forth. So I was just like, okay, this is weird. So I'm not physically reporting to anyone yet, but I'm working remotely, I'm assuming right now, unless that's just new hire orientation. I don't know. But the last time I checked, according to the interview guy that interviewed me, he said I was going to be working inside of an office somewhere downtown. I don't even know where the address is. All I know is that I finally got my clearance. Your girl finally going back to work on a 9 to 5. Hallelujah. And yeah, it took a minute. It took them like, I sent them all the paperwork for this clearance request. I want to say like maybe almost a month ago. It took a minute. It took literally almost 30 days for them to say, hey, we trust you now. You can go ahead and work. That's pretty much what happened. But if it wasn't a contract position and it wasn't government related, I would have been working a long time ago. Hello, welcome. How y'all doing? If you're just tuning in, I was just sharing my good news that your girl is finally going back to work on a 9 to 5. No more DoorDash. Do I have kids? No, I don't have children. Single. Ooh. Somebody said good. What does that mean? Good that I don't have kids or good that I have a 9 to 5? Explain. Because I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. But anyway, the pressure is off. Now I can woosah. I can breathe. I feel good. I'm so excited to finally go back to work. Like, y'all have no idea. It's been nothing but pure hell. Oh, good that I found a job. Yes, amen. I've been out of work, honestly, from a real job since like March. We're now in June. Almost three and a half months I've been out of work. And it's terrible because I swear, like when I say I've applied everywhere, even the grocery stores, like Kroger and stuff, I've applied everywhere. Nobody would give me the time of day. Nobody. But yeah, I got the luck of the straw. I think maybe now is the right timing. I don't know. But yeah, it's horrible. What country are you in? I'm in America. What country are you in? It doesn't sound like you're from America. But yeah, USA, yeah, I don't recommend it. Unless you have a specific skill set or you have a specific degree. yeah, good luck with the jobs in America. America has gone downhill. It's not the land of the free anymore. It's not the dream. It really isn't. People are literally chasing the dream in America. Oh, you're in America. You're just curious because we're almost in June. Yeah, we're in June. Yes. Yes. I'm just saying, like, it took that long. That's all I'm saying. I know it's June, but it took forever. And it's like, I don't know what it is. I guess maybe it's the economy. I don't know. But I'm well, equipped to handle any position. It's just the fact that people are taking their sweet time. I have 2 degrees. I'm not a fool. I'm not a dummy. I have a law degree, okay? And I have a paralegal degree. But apparently that doesn't mean shit when it comes to certain jobs. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So unless you already have law firm experience, which I don't have because I never had the option to work in a law firm, yeah, it's rough. It's hard. But the job is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with law. It's basically like an admin job position where I will be assisting like military recruiters for like a base. I think they're Navy recruiters, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be a first for me. I've never done anything like it. They said it's easy. They basically told me that I will be checking people's IDs and making sure that their onboarding gets processed. It's similar to like HR work, kind of, but with military people. That's all it is. But I know one thing, if I ever do another job similar to this, I don't want to ever go through another clearance check. That was tedious. Those clearances are no joke. And the clearance that I got granted was called a secret clearance. Well, technically an interim clearance, but they don't play around. They don't play no games when it comes to clearances. Someone said, I'm a really famous YouTuber right now and I'm right here in your live stream. Oh, okay. What's so famous about you? What do you do that's famous? I'm curious. Welcome. But anyway, yeah, it was a very, very long process. And I thought for sure I didn't get this job. I didn't think they were going to grant it to me because one, my credit is shot. It's bad. And the last time I checked, if you have bad credit, you can't get granted a clearance. But apparently they gave it to me. So God works in mysterious ways. Cheers to that. Cheers to the new JLB, finally. Because y'all, when I say it's been rough, I'm serious. Like it's been really, really rough for me these past couple of months, ever since I've been out of work. Like these side hustles that I've been doing, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, it's decent, but it's not enough. It's not durable, as far as like paying bills and stuff. It's enough to get you to get the gas and the food that you need, but that's pretty much it. Oh, okay. Your dad works at Michigan State University. He's a very famous professor. Oh, cool. Very nice. What does your dad teach? I'm curious. But anyway, yeah, I feel relieved. I feel good. And earlier, I ended up bombing my apartment with bug foggers. I was so annoyed. I've been having these gnat issues lately inside of my apartment. I don't know where they're coming from, but I think they might be coming from my drains, either in my bathroom sink or my kitchen sink, because that's where I've been seeing them lately. And it took like maybe 2 or 3 hours before I walked back into my apartment. Mind you, I use 2 bug foggers, okay? I put one of them in my living room. I put the other one in my bedroom. And after using 2 of these very powerful chemicals to get rid of any type of bugs inside of my apartment, the gnats were still there. I said, damn, I spoke too soon. Here I am thinking I got rid of the problem and they're still there. I don't know what else to do. I'm running out of options. I was happy because I didn't see them for a few minutes, But then as soon as I sat on this very same sofa that you see me on, I seen an ad. I was so mad. Like, y'all have no idea. I wouldn't care if they weren't all over my apartment. Like, literally, when I wake up, I'm fighting them. It's bad. So, yeah. Agriculture, cool. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'll be right back. My brother just completely totaled his motorcycle. Ooh, damn. I hope everything is all right. We'll be praying. That's scary. Yeah, you gotta be careful on motorcycles. That's very scary. But yeah, like I said, I'm just relieved. I got me a 9 to 5 because I actually did a, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I did a phone interview earlier today and I had it with Cabela's. Cabela's is similar to like Bass Pro Shop, and it was for a ATV and boat sales consultant. Fancy title. And she didn't even really ask me no real questions. She was just like, so why are you interested in working for Cabela's? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, because I need a job. What do you want me to say? Like, I said, well, I heard that Cabela's has a great reputation. According to my friend that worked in sales, she did something similar. So she recommended me to apply. So I applied. I just gave her basic answers. And she was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. And she was just like, what is your availability? And I said, right now it's Monday through Friday because I haven't heard back from the other job. The other job that supposedly said I was selected, but they haven't granted me my clearance yet to do my job. I said, I don't even know if I have that job yet. And she was like, okay, well, I'll forward your answers to the hiring manager, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I didn't hear nothing back because I had just spoke to her. But now, if Cabela's calls me back, I'm gonna have to tell her if I am offered this position, now I can only work part-time and I can only do weekends. That's the only way I'm gonna do that job. And I really wanted to try it because I knew that it was a customer service position and it's fairly simple. I've never really done sales. However, I know that they're paying between, I think she said 16 to 18 an hour plus commission and bonus. So if I get that job, I can get me some extra cash, on top of the bonus and commission with my main job. So that's the goal. The goal is to secure a full-time 9 to 5 along with a part-time 9 to 5 on top of my side hustles because my side hustles is not enough. It's really not. It's enough to get me by as far as groceries and stuff and like gas, but as far as like additional income, it's really a joke. It's not enough. But yeah, you gotta really plan this shit out. I'm so serious. Like, you really gotta take control of your finances. It's not a joke. What state am I in? I'm in Virginia. What state are you in? Since we're playing 21 questions. In Virginia, I don't know if you guys are aware, but we have what's called state tax. I'm originally from Texas. I'm not from Virginia though. And I'm not used to this state tax bullshit. So let me give you an example of what your checks are going to look like here. If you're making $20 an hour, like I was when I worked for the post office, and after tax, normally you would see about, I would say give or take 800 or 900 of those dollars. Well, after state tax and federal and FICA and whatever else that comes out of your check and Social Security, you know what? How much I made every 2 weeks at the post office? I made $600 every 2 weeks. That's just a clear example of what minimum wage looks like over here. It's pretty sad. So I was like, wait a minute. If I'm not at least clocking out at 800 or 900 every 2 weeks, or at least 1,400, what the hell am I supposed to do for money? So I was just like, I'm gonna have to get 2 jobs. I ain't got no choice. Because everyone's on this bullshit of the magical number of 18 to 20 an hour, and that's simply not enough here. I'm sorry, it's just not. It may be enough for the average person that doesn't have to worry about bills, that lives at home with their parents, But for somebody who's independent like me, that lives alone, that doesn't have anybody, and all I have is me, I'm gonna need a little bit more. You're in North Carolina? Okay, shout out to North Carolina. That's a nice state. I've been there a couple of times in the past. I haven't been there in a very long time. It's been a while. But yeah, I don't know if North Carolina has state tax, but yeah, it sucks over here. Not only do we have state tax and of course federal, every state has federal, but we also have what's called personal property tax. Normally in normal states like Texas and Florida, you would pay property tax like on housing, like on HOA fees and stuff like that. And maybe, like your land, you would pay land tax. But in Virginia and places like Maryland, and I believe DC does it as well, they have a distinct tax bracket called personal property tax. And that does not include your house and it does not include your land. You know what it includes? It includes your vehicles. If you have a car, you have a truck, you have a minivan, whatever. If it has four wheels on it and is classified as a vehicle, or if it's an RV, you have to pay personal property tax on it over here. It's crazy. And I got my very first tax bill for my car. And my car is old. It's like a 2017 Hyundai Sonata. My bill was cheap. It was like $50. I said, oh, that's nothing. That's not bad at all. And I said, damn, I just thought about it. I don't even think I paid that damn bill. I think it's due in June. I gotta go back and look and see if I paid the bill or not. I don't think I paid my property tax bill. I just thought about that shit. I said, ooh, I gotta pay that bill. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot that I did not know about this state that is completely different from my hometown in Texas. Because, see, Texas, we don't have to worry about silly shit like state tax. The only thing that you have to worry about only is just federal. And if you are a homeowner, yes, you have tax. And if you have land, yes, you have tax. But I've never in my life heard of anybody paying taxes on their personal vehicles. That's crazy to me. You make $1,000 plus in 4 days cutting hair. Damn, that's what's up. Yeah, hair is a lucrative business. I hear a lot of people make a lot of money in hair. Not surprised. It's very popular. Everybody goes, to the barber shops and the hair salons. So I'm not surprised. It's really good. That's awesome. You have friends in Arlington, Texas. Okay, that's what's up. I actually lived out in the Dallas area before I moved here. That's so funny you mentioned Arlington. The city that I lived in was called McKinney. It's about, I'd say about 25, 30 minutes north of Dallas. It's about 45 minutes north of Arlington, but it's still considered the Dallas area. But it's a nice little suburb town. It's not necessarily a real city. It's just real country. A lot of wealthy white people that live out there. It's kind of similar to Frisco. Frisco's nice too. But yeah, I lived there for about, I would say going on 2 or 3 years. I didn't stay out there too long. And then I got the fuck up out of there. I packed up my shit and I said, I'm tired of this place. I'm tired of the layoffs. The people are weird. I can't take it anymore. I said, I'm sick of Texas. I'm ready for a new place. I'm ready for a new state. I'm gone. And the first thing I did was I started putting in applications. Now, what's funny is that I tried to relocate to Charlotte first. I was planning to go to North Carolina, not Virginia. Virginia was not my first choice. Where are you from originally? I'm from Texas. Originally, yes. Very small town. It's like central Texas. It's between Austin and Houston. Middle of nowhere, real small. You probably never heard of it, but yeah, originally from Texas, born and raised. But I've lived all over the world. I used to be military, so it's nothing for me to pack up and move. It's not like this is a new thing for me. I just haven't moved in a very long time, cross country. This is a big move for me. So when I got hired originally at the post office here in Virginia, they rushed me, and this should have been a red flag. I don't know what possessed me to leave right away, But I said, fuck it, this is probably my only chance to find something decent to get my foot in the door until I find something else. So I said yes to the job. And they told me I had 3 weeks to pack up my life in Texas or else I was not going to have a job after New Year's. They literally called me on New Year's Eve as I was getting on the plane to Houston to a comedy show. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And then I said, okay, whatever. So I packed up my whole entire life, just like they told me to. I shipped my car first. After I shipped my vehicle, I flew. I caught a flight out here because I was not driving. I refused to drive that far. It's like 1,100 miles away from Texas. And then by the time I landed here on Plymouth Rock in Virginia, I already had everything set up. My apartment was set up. I paid all my fees back in like New Year's Eve time frame. I paid all that shit a long time ago. The thing was is that by the time I started working at the post office, all hell broke loose. Like, what they don't tell you is that is literally slave labor in a warehouse. Like, even though I was hired as a window clerk to deal with customers, it's not as easy as you think. You're literally behind the window, but you're slinging boxes all morning until the actual window opens. And I didn't even get that far. I only lasted like for a couple of weeks and then I left. It was terrible. I couldn't handle it. It was back-breaking work, heavy lifting. And, as a disabled vet, I can only handle so much with heavy lifting. So I had to quit. I couldn't take it anymore. Then after I quit, that's when shit just went downhill. It was really, really hard finding something here for the longest. And as I kept applying, I kept door dashing and stuff and did what I had to do. Couldn't find nothing. And then lo and behold, God gave me a direction and gave me a job 3 months later. But yeah, I was just like, what the hell? But anyway, what was your MOS? Can you find a job in that field? My MOS was 42 Alpha in the military. And yes, I actually did find a job in that field. The thing is, what people don't understand, even though I did HR for damn near 10 and a half years outside of military, including my military time, when you switch over to the civilian world, they don't care about your military experience. They really don't. They don't care about your military time. Even though I did HR, when I applied to HR jobs on the outside, they didn't give me the time of day. They did not care. So I literally had to work a lot of oddball jobs that were unrelated to my MOS. And I worked in a lot of call centers. I did a lot of government work. I worked at the IRS one time, once upon a time, during COVID in a call center. All types of places, completely unrelated to HR, completely unrelated. I've done a lot of crazy, crazy jobs. But I finally got something. Like I said, I am grateful for anything that comes across my way. I'm not too good to like not do certain jobs, but I do have a limitation, and my limitation is backbreaking work. I refuse to do warehouse work, and I damn sure refuse to do security. I'm not going back to security ever again in life. I don't care how much somebody offers me, I'm not doing security. I did security for like the past I would say like 2 or 3 years, and it wasn't hard. It's just demanding. The thing about certain security jobs, depending on where the contract is posted, if you have an a-hole of a boss that constantly calls you in the middle of the night to pull guard at a gate or pull guard inside of a building, yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, no, that's one thing I learned. I will not do backbreaking work nor security. I refuse. Nor warehouse. No, nothing warehouse. I cannot do warehouse. If I still had the strength that I had when I was able-bodied and active, in the military, then yeah, I would work in a warehouse, but I'm not able-bodied no more. My strength is not all there. I'm not as strong as I used to be. I'm not as fit as I used to be. My thing is, if it's not sedentary, if it's not in the office, I don't want it. I don't give a damn. And I damn sure ain't doing no call center. No call center jobs. Nope. Call center jobs are the worst. I don't care what nobody says. Because the last one, the very last call center job I had that I did was probably the IRS. Yeah. IRS was the very last call center job. That was in 2020 to like 2021 timeframe. And I got cussed out every day by random strangers about tax collections. It was not a fun job. It was very exhausting. It drained my energy. I said, no more. I'm good. Remote data entry, where? Or are you just saying that because of my background? Like, I've already got a job now. I'm good. I'm just saying, like, before, when I was looking, I didn't find anything decent around this area. But I'm okay now. It's just a matter of, you know, getting the extra, I don't know what you're talking about, dude, but you're being weird. Goodbye. Yeah, I can't stand weirdos and trolls. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm relieved. Like I said before, God works in mysterious ways. He answered my prayers, and I'm glad that I finally got something stable and meaningful that I could just chill and literally cakewalk and get an easy check. I don't have to bust my brain cells doing calculations for somebody's taxes no more, as I'm not doing that. I even used to work at a CPA firm, and I had to bust brain cells doing that shit. I worked for a team of CPAs and an attorney. It was rough. It was hard. Did I get a lot of money? Yes, but it was very stressful. And that's why I'm just like, I'm good. If it's simple, it's easy going, it's a cakewalk, I will take it. But if it's not good, if it's not easy going, if it's not a cakewalk, I don't want it. If I have to bust my brain cells over a job, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. No. Like, when I say I really don't give a damn, I will take a grocery store. I will take a bagger position. I don't care. I'm at the point where I'm just like, leave me the hell alone and let me do what I want to do and clock out and clock in as I please and collect my check. That's all I'm saying. Because you'd be surprised what a lot of these so-called quote unquote six-figure income jobs require you to do. And a lot of them are so stressful. Like my friend that's in Florida, she told me that her job is so stressful. She has to travel so many times every week just to make sure she recruits people and stuff and makes her numbers or makes her monthly quotas to keep her job. It's scary. That's why I would probably never do sales. Hey Aaron, how you doing? I'm just chilling. I figured I'd tell everybody my good news. Your girl's finally going back to work on a 9 to 5. Hallelujah. I finally got the answer I've been waiting for like 30 days. God, it took forever. I learned a lesson. If you're looking for a job and it's a contract position and if it's government and it requires a clearance, don't do it. Don't do it. Because they will have you sitting and waiting and thinking you ain't got a job. And then like 30 days later, they email you and say, congratulations, you've been approved. Literally 30 days. It took them. Yes. Mm. I'm like, dude, I could have been working a long time ago, but it all worked out in my favor. God works in mysterious ways. And it was perfect timing, to be honest, because I just had surgery a couple of weeks ago. So it all worked out. But yeah, I feel relieved. I'm relaxed. I'm at peace. I'm just trying to, soak it all in and get ready to get back into work mode. I haven't been working in so long. It's ridiculous. I've been out of work since March time frame. It's pretty bad. But I've been staying afloat and keeping myself productive and busy by doing side hustles like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and stuff like that. But I'm excited. I'm excited. The crazy part is that for my new hire orientation, I don't even have to go inside the office. Hell, I don't even know where my office is. That's the scariest part. They literally said I do everything remotely on the first day, which is Monday. And I guess I get further instruction where my office is because nobody has given me the address to the physical office that I will be assigned to. And I don't even know who my boss is. That's the craziest part. I don't know anybody. I don't know any of the staff members. All I know is the clearance man that granted me the clearance and the onboarding lady. That's it. I only know two people. And neither one of them is here in the city that I live in. They were way up by DC. I think they're based out of Arlington, Virginia. I'm not too sure. But they're far. They're far as hell. They're like 2 hours away. And then they sent me some more forms to fill out. And I said, what's up with all these goddamn forms? I thought I was done filling out the forms for the job. You know, they sent me like a jillion forms to apply for this job, basically, and get this clearance mess granted. And that clearance is no joke. They go back 10 years on you, and they want to make sure you are squeaky clean. I'm talking about no felonies, no misdemeanors, nothing criminal, nothing civil against you, or else you're not going to get a clearance. It's a really big deal. They want to know your whole entire life. Like I had to list every address I lived in the past 10 years. I had to list every job I worked at, whether if it was part-time, temporary, contract, or full-time, and all the times I was unemployed between each position that I worked at. And I listed all of them on there. And I said, hey, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember half the contract gigs that I've done when I lived in Texas because I did so many of them. It's hard to keep up. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know, but I know I spent most of my time working for, a contractor called Robert Half. Majority of my life, I did a lot of contract positions with them. But outside of them, I don't know all the rest of the little temporary gigs that I did because I did so many of them. And I guess they were cool with it. So I was like, all right. I'm just annoyed how after I did all of that paperwork, and it was literally 300 pages worth of paperwork, I'm not joking, they still sent me more stuff to fill out. Like, I was just like, what does it take to just say, okay, you can start, we're good, we don't need no more paperwork from you? No, it's not that simple. But this is easy work. This is like, they need me to sign a form of some sort. I think it's something affiliated with the military peoples. I don't know. And then they need me to sign like a non-disclosure mumbo jumbo. I don't even know what the hell it is. But once I sign those two forms, I'm good to go. That's pretty much all they need from me now. But it was a process. It was a long process to get this job. It really was. I know one thing, I'm not going through no more clearance jobs. After this is the last clearance job I will go through. I just want a regular, good old civilian job that does not require a damn military clearance. Because I'm under the impression that besides knowing your whole entire life, literally, because they're that nosy, I don't want to have to go through something of this nature again. Because every so often, the last time I checked, if you have to renew a clearance, like say like you have to renew your clearance every 4 or 5 years, you're gonna have to do another background check. And that background check is tedious. It's very detailed and it takes forever. It's not your typical background check. I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. It was so bad they made me take my fingerprints at the police station. I had to go to the sheriff's office to go get my fingerprints. And I said, why can't y'all do it? Oh, well, our headquarters is headquartered out of DC and your local office doesn't have a fingerprint machine. So you're gonna have to go to your local police station down there and email us your fingerprints. I said, that doesn't make sense. I've never, ever had a job in my life that could not just take my prints and be done. But yet you're making me run on a wild goose chase to go get this done just so you can say I'm good. So this is crazy. But yeah, that's how crazy this process was. It was very long. It was just very detailed. It took forever, but I'm glad everything is done. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. Everything is done. Everything is fine. I'm just glad to get back to work, period, honestly. No, they're not. You're being a weirdo. Oh my God. But, wine is getting to me. I'm feeling sleepy now. That's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys. I know there's not really nobody in here, but I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I'm going to go now since no one's really in here. I'm assuming people are still at work. I don't know. But I will talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.